Morning to all. Today we are going to discuss about the stoichiometry of disubstituted cyclohexane. Last time we have discussed about stoichiometry of 1,1-dimethyl cyclohexane. There we have seen when the two hydrogen atom from the cyclohexane when replaced by the substituent in general XX or XY, the group may be same, may be different, then it is called as 1,1-dimethyl cyclohexane. So this 1,1-dimethyl cyclohexane, you have seen the position is 1,1, and the next point that is the geometrical isomerism, then optical isomerism, stability. We have seen. We have seen that when the groups are same, it contains plane of symmetry, so it is an optically inactive compound. Now today we'll see about the stoichiometry of 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. Just I will share my screen. Let me know whether you are able to see. Yes, you can see screen. So today we'll discuss about that is stoichiometry stereochemistry of 1,2-dimethyl 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. So you know the concept of disubstituted cyclohexane. So there you have seen how to draw the cyclohexane. So here we'll see first how to draw the cyclohexane. Here this is your cyclohexane. Right. So this cyclohexane can be written in the chair form. So when the hydrogen atom from this 1 2 position, this is your H and this also H, and when they are replaced from 1 2 position, this two hydrogen by a group, here we can take in general, or here we have to learn only the stoichiometry of dimethyl cyclohexane. So I will take only that dimethyl cyclohexane. Here we will write the two hydrogen from 1, 2 position when they are replaced by the methyl group. So it is called as 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. So we have to learn the stoichiometry of 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. Here is the carbon number 1, carbon number 2, and similarly we can write the remaining one. First we will see corresponding chair form of the cyclohexane, and then we learn its stoichiometry. So last time we have seen how to draw the cyclohexane. So first we will draw the cyclohexane. So for this what we have to do, we have to write two lines parallel, elongated downward, right? So this is your suppose first line elongated downward, and next one is also of same length. We have to draw a next line. Both are parallel to each other, and this carbon is above the plane. Similarly, this will join on this carbon. Similarly, this bond and this bond should be parallel, and this bond and this bond, they should be parallel. So there is a one cyclohexane. We can draw it's a ring flipping. The conversion of one chair into the other chair is called as a ring flipping. So this undergo ring flipping, and you will get corresponding conformational isomerism. So here, this one carbon number 1, suppose it will go down. So you have to so this downward. So this will go upward. So here I will write one bond. Then this is second bond. Both are parallel, and this carbon you have to join here. Similarly, this carbon you have to join on this carbon. This bond and this bond, they are parallel. If I write this bond and this bond, they are parallel. Similarly, this bond and this bond, they are parallel. So this is the ring flipping. Now we can draw mirror images on this. Here, suppose if I write mirror images, you will get corresponding isomers. So again, I have to draw its a mirror image. So its mirror images will be like this one. So it will go down. So it will also go down, right? So here is the one bond, and this is the second bond, elongated downward. This will go above, and you'll get such type of structure. So in this way we have drawn the mirror images of this one. Similarly, it undergo also a ring flipping, and you will get corresponding isomer. So here it will go like this one. So in the similar way, we have to write down the corresponding mirror images. Just have to make some practice, then you can write the structure of this one. Now first we will give the numbering to this carbon. So it is your carbon number 1, carbon number 2, carbon number 3, carbon number 4, 5, and 6. Similarly, its mirror images means this carbon and this carbon, they are same. So here I will write number one, then carbon number two, right? So this will go down, right? So we have to write it's a mirror images 4, 5, and 6. Similarly, you can write down the remaining structure. Now this carbon number 1 will go down. So this carbon is 1. Similarly, this 2 will go above. So this carbon is a 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Similarly, it's a mirror images means again same thing. Here 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have drawn first cyclohexane. Now we'll draw their axial and equatorial bond. You know the axial bonds means the bonds which are perpendicular to the general plane is called as axial bond. On the carbon number 1, you have to draw a line perpendicular to the average plane, number 1. So this is your axial bond. This is your also axial bond. Now this is your axial bond above the plane. This is your axial bond below the plane. This axial bond is above the plane. This axial bond is below the plane. So we have seen axial and equatorial bond. Axial bonds we have written by the red bond, red color. Similarly, we can write down the mirror images. Here is the plane 1, then 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Similarly, on this one, we can draw the axial and equatorial bond. Now look here, when ring flipping takes place, then it will go into equatorial. So I will write the equatorial bond. Equatorial bonds, they are the, I have written in this case by the blue bond. Similarly, we can draw its mirror images. So here is carbon number 1, carbon number 2, carbon number 3, carbon number 4, carbon number 5, and carbon number 6. Now we have seen that when ring flipping takes place, this axial bond becomes equatorial. So this equatorial bond on the carbon number 1 will be parallel to the carbon C2 C3. So you have to draw just a parallel line like this one. So this bond is parallel to C2 C3, carbon number 1. Carbon number 2 will be parallel to, here these are the additional bonds, right? These are the additional bond. So it should be parallel to this bond, right? So this two bonds parallel. This is parallel to C4 C5. This bond is parallel to C3 C4. This bond is parallel to C1 C2. This bond is parallel to C5 C6. So in this way, you have drawn all the axial and equatorial bond. You will observe that the axial bond becomes equatorial and equatorial bond becomes axial. So similarly, we can draw the also other bonds. Here, this is parallel to this bond. This is parallel to C3, C4. This parallel to C5, C6. No, C4, C5. This parallel to C2, C3. This parallel to C1, C6. This parallel to C4, C5. So we have drawn also axial and equatorial bond. Similarly, we can draw this bond. These are adjacent, so C4, C5, C6. Then 2, it is parallel to C3, C4. It is parallel to, these are the adjacent, so C4, C5. This parallel to C1, C6. This parallel to C1, C2. So in this we can draw also this bond. Similarly, mirror images. So here it's a axial bond, it becomes equatorial. So equatorial will be like this one, C2, C3. Then it is parallel to C4, C5. It is parallel to C3, C4. It is parallel to C5. C6, and this parallel to C1, C2. So first our job is to write their axial and equatorial bond. Then remaining part is very easy. So what we have learned? We have drawn the structure cyclohexane. It undergo ring flipping. Then we put a mirror inside this two structure. And suppose if we write, suppose this is your structure number one, then structure number 2 is undergo ring flipping. So this is your structure number 2. This structure number 3 is a mirror images of 1. So structure number 3. Similarly, structure number 4, these mirror images of second structure. So in this way, you have drawn the axial and equatorial bond in the structure number 1, 2, 3, 4. We are discussing about that is 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. Here 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane, the 2 group, when it is replaced by the methyl group and from 1 and 2 position, so it is a 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. So I will write here both groups are methyl. Here is a CS3 and here is also CS3, carbon number 1, and here is the carbon number 2. So in this one, when the methyl group in this structure number 1, it is above the plane. So if I write axial, it will go down the plane. So it becomes trans. And if I write in the equatorial, it becomes axial. So here cis 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane, cis 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. It can exhibit geometrical isomerism. So firstly, we'll see about the cis 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. So when the two similar groups, they are on the same side of the gender plane, in the structure number 1, on the carbon number 1, the methyl group is above the plane. It is going upward direction, above the plane. And also on the carbon number 2, the methyl group is also going in the upward direction. And so both are on the same side. So it is called as a cis. and remaining carbon we have to satisfy by the hydrogen. So we can write here hydrogen. Even if you don't write also what, but try to write the hydrogen atom. So these are H H. Here is also H. This is the structure of 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane. When ring flipping takes place, what happens? Carbon number one, it was axial, it becomes equatorial. It becomes equatorial. Similarly, on the carbon number two, this is carbon number two. So the methyl was equatorial. Now it becomes axial. It becomes axial. So it is your CH3. And remaining are the hydrogen atom. So here is the H, here is the H, H, H. So you have to satisfy remaining all the valency by the hydrogen atom. Similarly, you can draw its mirror images. So here is the methyl, carbon number one, carbon number two, it was equatorial, and remaining valency is hydrogen. So just you have to write down the hydrogen on each carbon atom. So if you know how to write this cyclohexane, remaining work is very, very easy. So it was equatorial on this carbon. We have to write down the equatorial, and here is also H. Similarly, we have to draw its ring flipping. It was axial, it becomes equatorial. So here CS3. CS3, 1, and it becomes carbon number 2, equatorial becomes axial. We have to write here CS3. Only writing of the structure, it takes time. The remaining part is very easy. So in this way, you have to write down the structure. So we have written the cis-1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. So this 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane, if the two groups they are on the same side of the gender plane, if they are on the same side of the gender plane, then it is called as cis. If they are on the opposite side, it is called as a trans. So in the cis, the two groups they are on the same side of the gender plane, same side of general plane. It is on the same side of the general plane. So it exhibits cis and trans isomerism. If the two groups they are on the same side, in this case the methyl and methyl, right? So here is a methyl and here is also methyl. This methyl is going upward direction and this methyl going also in the upward direction. So the gender plane is the plane containing the carbon C2, C3, C5 and C6. So it is your gender plane. So this will go above the plane and this will go also above the plane. So it is a cis. And structure number 1 and structure number 2, they undergo ring flipping. Similarly, structure number 2 is a mirror images of 1 and structure number 4 is a mirror images of structure number 2. So this structures we have written for the 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. So in cis 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane, firstly we have to see number one point. Number 1 point, it is a cis, right? Cis 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane. Cis 1,2-dimethyl. In that one, we have to check first what is the position. Position of this one. What is position? position is a 1 and 2. Means the two groups they are replaced from 1 and 2 positions. So position is a 1 and 2. Then the geometric isomerism, show the isomerism. So it shows the first position, second is the geometrical isomerism. In geometrical isomerism, we have to check whether they are on the same side or not. So in this case, the methyl group on the carbon number 1 is above the plane. So whether it's axial or equatorial, it is axial. And on the carbon number 2, the methyl group also going above the plane. So but in this case, the methyl group is in the equatorial position. So one methyl is axial, other is equatorial. When undergo ring flipping, one will convert into 2. In that case, you'll find that the methyl on the carbon number 1, as it was axial, it becomes equatorial. So axial becomes equatorial and this equatorial becomes axial. So in both cases, the methyl groups are either axial equatorial or equatorial axial. So geometric if it is in the here position is a 1 2, and in geometrical isomerism, if it is the axial equatorial or equatorial axial, then it is a cis 1 2 dimethyl cyclohexane. So what is the position to find out the geometrical isomerism? Either the group are should be axial equatorial or equatorial axial, then it shows the geometrical isomerism, and it is a cis. Similarly, we can write down the trans, and we'll see later on. First, we'll complete this cis 1 2 dimethyl, and then we'll go for the trans. So here we have seen the geometrical isomerism. The next point is number 3, conformational isomerism. Number 3. Number 3 is conformational isomerism. Conformational isomerism. In this one, you'll see that here and section number 2, they can interconvert into each other due to the carbon-carbon single bond rotation. So 1 and 2, these are the conformational isomers of each other. 1 and 2, these are the conformational isomers of each other. Similarly, third and fourth, they are also conformational isomers of each other. So 1 and 2 and third and fourth, these are the conformational isomers of each other, right? So in case of conformational isomerism, we can write 1 and 2 here. Structure number 1 and structure number 2, these are the conformational isomers of each other. Similarly, structure number 3 and structure number 4, which are the mirror images of structure number 1 and 2. So 1 and 2, these are the conformational isomers because they can interconvert into each other. And third and fourth, these are the conformational isomers of each other. Now we have to see whether it exhibit optical activity or not. So this point is somewhat important. The 4th point, optical activity or optical isomers or optical activity means whether 1, 2, 3, 4, they are optically active or not. So here, if you see the structure, you will see that the methyl group is in the axial on the carbon number 1, and the methyl group is in the equatorial position on the carbon number 2. So we cannot put a plane which divides this molecule into these two parts. But if you see, the structure number 1 can be converted into structure number 2. So these are the conformational isomers of each other. These are the conformational isomers of each other. Similarly, number 1 and number 3, these are the mirror images of each other. These are the mirror images of each other, and they are the here enantiomers of each other. They are the enantiomers of each other. They are the non-superimposable mirror images of each other. So these are the enantiomers of each other. If you prepare a model and if you see, you'll find that they are mirror images, but they are the non-superimposable mirror images of each other. So these are the enantiomers, and you know the enantiomers are the stereoisomers which have the opposite optical activity. They are having the opposite optical activity, right? So here you have seen 1 and 2nd. These are the conformational isomers of each other. 1 and 3rd, these are the mirror images of each other. And if you prepare a model and if you see their structure, you will see that they are the non-superimposable mirror images of each other. So the optical activity of 1 and 3rd, they are opposite. Why? Because they are the enantiomers. Similarly, we will see that the structure number 3 and structure number 4, these are the conformational isomers of each other. Means structure number 3 will convert into structure number 4, and structure number 4 will convert into structure number 3, right? So again, these are the conformational isomers of each other. Just you have seen 1 and 3 second, and 3rd and 4th. These are the conformational isomers of each other. And if you see, a model, you will see that the structure number 1 and structure number 4, they are the same compound, right? They are the same compound. So here the structure number 1 and the structure number 4, these two structures, they are the same. These two structures, they are the same, 1 and 4th. Similarly, also you have seen that the structure number 2nd and the structure number 3rd, also they are same. If you prepare model, we'll see later on the model also. So here remember that 1 and 2nd, they are the conformational isomers. 3rd and 4th, they are the conformational isomers. They can interconvert into each other. 1 and 3rd, these are the enantiomers because they are the mirror images of each other. They are the non-superimposable mirror images of each other. Means 1 and 3rd, these are the enantiomers. Similarly, 2nd and 4th, they are also enantiomers. 2nd and 4th, they are also enantiomer, right? I will say that structure number 1 and structure number 4, they are the same, right? So 1 and 4th, they are same. Also we say that structure number 3 and structure number 4, they are the conformational isomers. Means 2nd can convert into 4th and 4th can convert into 3rd. So instead of 3rd, we can put the structure number 4. We can replace this 3rd by 4th, and you know this 1st and 4th, they are same. They are same, and as they are same, and also you have seen that they are the enantiomers. They are the enantiomer, means the optical activity caused by one molecule is cancelled by the other molecule, or they are having the uh, opposite optical activity as they are the enantiomer. So as the structure number fourth and structure number one, they are same. So they are optically inactive compound. It was expected that firstly it was optically active, but as the structure number one and structure number four they are same, and the structure number third and structure number four they can interconvert into each other. That's why instead of third we can put the structure number four here, and you'll see that these are the enantiomers. These are the enantiomers. So they are optically inactive. They are optically inactive. So this actually it was expected to be optically active, but here it is found to be optically inactive compound. Optically inactive compound. Inactive compound. So each they may ask for separately 1 or 2 mark or 3 mark. So this is about the optical activity. So this point is important. Next one, number 4 point. Number 5, we have to see its stability. Stability in terms of energy. So relative stability. In relative stability, we have to see the energy. Now structure number one, and we can take also structure number second. In both cases, you'll find that one of the methyl group is in the axial and other is the equatorial. If you take any structure, you'll find that one methyl is axial and other is a equatorial. So if you see the energy of this compound, the methyl group when it is in the one position, the carbon 1, then 2, and then 3. So the hydrogen on the carbon number 3, these bonds they are parallel, they are nearer. So this interaction is called as a 1,3 diaxial interaction. It is called as a 1,3 diaxial interaction. So this interaction is called as 1,3 diaxial interaction. So the hydrogen on the carbon number 3 and the methyl group on the carbon number 1. So this interaction is called as 1,3 diaxial interaction. 1, 2, 3. Similarly, the hydrogen on the carbon number 5 means 1, 2, 3. So also they undergo interaction. So this interaction is called as 1,3 diaxial interaction. And for each 1,3 diaxial interaction, you have to add 0.9 kilocalorie per mole energy. So in terms of energy, if you see, so there is a presence of two 1,2,1,3 dimethyl, one here 1,3 diaxial interaction, 1,3 diaxial interaction, and for each 1,3 diaxial interaction you have to add, that is a 0.9 kilocalorie per mole energy. So it is equal to 1.8 kilocalorie per mole energy for 1,3 diaxial interaction. So here you have seen the 1,3 diaxial interaction, right? Now uh, if you see in the structure, you'll see that methyl group on the carbon number 1, this methyl carbon number 1, the methyl group on the carbon number 2. So we can see just like a carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4 means a butane, just like a butane. So if you see this model from C2 C1 axis, from this direction C1 C2 axis, you will see that the methyl group axial and methyl group equatorial. So they are skewed to each other. They are skewed to each other. So here, for each butane-Gauche or butane-skew interaction, we add zero point 0.9 kilocalorie per mole energy. So here we have to add zero point 0.9 kilocalorie per mole energy in this one. So here one more interaction is there. There is a one interaction, and second interaction there is the presence of one butane butane Gauche interaction. Right, butane Gauche interaction. So here there are two type of the interaction. One is 1,3-dioxy interaction, and second is a one butane Gauche interaction. How one butane Gauche interaction? Here there is a methyl, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you see from this direction, you see that this methyl and this methyl, they are Gauche to each other. So when they are skew or Gauche to each other, you have to add 0 0.9 kilocalorie per mole energy that you have learned in the BSc first year. So the total energy is equal to 1.8 plus 0.9. So you have to add energy 0.9, 0.9, 0.9 kilocalorie per mole. So the total energy for this compound, so you have to add per mole, also per mole, kilocalorie per mole, kilocalorie per mole. So the total energy is equal to 1.8 plus 0.9 is equal to 2.7 kilocalorie per mole. So this is the energy of this compound. So you have seen here in cis-1,2 dimethyl, position is 1, 2, where the methyl group is axial and it is equatorial. So axial equatorial or equatorial axial. So here is axial equatorial or equatorial axial. So they are the cis compound. We have seen 1 and 2, these are the conformational isomers of each other. Similarly, we have put the mirror images. So 1 and 3rd, they are the mirror images. 2nd and 4th, they are the mirror images. So you observe that they are the non-superimposable mirror images. So these are the enantiomer. Similarly, 2nd and 4th, these are the enantiomers. So enantiomers are the non-superimposable mirror images of each other. We have also seen that one compound convert into second and second can convert into one. These are the conformational isomers. Third compound convert into fourth, fourth convert into second. These are the conformational isomers. So we have seen position, isomerism, conformational isomerism, and optical activity. In optical activity, 1 and 2nd, these are the conformational isomers. 3rd and 4th, these are the conformational isomers. It means they can. So you can write instead of third structure number 4. But it is observed 1 and 4th. Hello. 1 and 4th. 1 and 4th are the 1 and 4th, these are the same compound. Similarly, 2nd and 3rd, these are the same compound. So instead of 3, we put structure number 4. And you know, 1 and 4, they are the same compound. So they are the optically inactive compound. And as they are the enantiomer, they are having the opposite optical activity. So these are the optically inactive compound. And in terms of energy, which compound is having the more energy, either 1, 2, 3, 4. in all four, we'll see that one methyl is axial, other is equatorial. Means all are having the same energy. Cis compound, it is given by axial equatorial or equatorial axial. So all are having the same energy. How to find out the energy? The methyl in the axial position, we have 1,3 diaxial interaction. There are two 1,3 diaxial interaction. So you have to add zero point 0.9 into into 2, 1.8 kilocalorie per mole energy. Similarly, in case of section number 1, the methyl they are coagulated to each other, and you have to add zero point 0.9 kilocalorie per mole energy. So here the total energy is 1.8 plus 0.9 is equal to 2.7 kilocalorie per mole energy. So this is about the energy. So here we have seen position, geometrical isomerism, conformational isomerism. Then we have seen the enantiomers. We have seen the optical activity. It is optically inactive, even though it is absence of any elements of symmetry. It is optically inactive. It was expected that it is optically active. Why? Because there is absence of elements of symmetry. Then we have seen the relative energy. There is a presence of axial group. So when it is a present in the axial group, there is a presence of 2,1,3 diaxial interaction. So total energy is 1.8. Also, there is a presence of one butane-Gaussian interaction. So you have to add zero point 0.9. So total energy is 1.8 plus 0.9 is equal to 2.7 kilocalorie per mole energy. Right. So in this way, we have seen the cis-1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane. So in this way, we have completed the cis-1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane. Cis is possible when the groups are either axial equatorial or equatorial axial. So it is called either cis. And if you want to write trans, if you want to write trans, here trans 1,2 dimethyl cyclohexane. What is the position in this case? Of course, it is a 1 and 2. Now, number 2, geometrical isomerism. If the group on the methyl group on the carbon number 1 is axial, you have to see the trans. Means the groups there should be on the opposite side. If it is axial, here in this case the methyl group is also axial, but we want on the opposite side, means it should be also axial. Axial. If it undergo ring flipping, it becomes equatorial, right? Equatorial. So here we have to replace the methyl group in the carbon number 2 by the axial. So here the geometrical isomerism is possible only when if the groups are axial or equatorial, axial or equatorial. Right? So in this you have to see the remaining points. Right? So if I end out in this one, you may ask, in this, if I end out, you may ask, yes, Ankita, end out. Rohit, Srikant, Srushti, Vaishnavi. So if you know one, remaining all they are similar. Now next time I will not write the structure. You know how to draw the structure. So structure number 1, 2, 3, 4. I will not repeat in the next lecture. As we have learned how to draw, so I will draw the structure and I will put the group only, and only we have to discuss only these points. That is the position, geometrical isomerism, conformational isomerism, optical activity, and relative stability. Means we have learned here already the 2 points. So In the next lecture, we'll discuss about these 3 points. So they're very simple. It's hardly 10 minutes. I think we should take that one in the next lecture. End out? No. Okay. Then I think we should stop here. Thanks to all. Thank you. You can leave the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
If I let me ask.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Try to write down the structures. Yeah, how to refer the book
Thank you, sir.
Organic Chemistry by Morrison Boyd, Organic Chemistry by Clayton. Also, you can refer the textbook, Mali publication, Nirali publication. These are references that we have used. Okay. Thanks to you all. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe my channel.